Hey, what's up, everybody? John here, Delighted Acres Farm, and I haven't done a pickup vlog in a while, and so I'm going to do it today. I'm on my way home from work, and the last few weeks have been interesting, to say the least. But I need to go back a year or so. Yeah. I need to go back. I don't know. It might even be longer than that, but let me really start by saying, y'all, take care of your teeth. Do the things that you know are necessary. Go to the dentist whenever it's necessary for sure. A little bit about my history with the dentist. I grew up going to the dentist every 6 months, just like you're supposed to. Regular cleanings, cavity, get a filling here and there every once in a while. Through the later half of grade school, I even was in braces. So into junior high, I even remember, I guess I had gotten my permit. I was still going to the what do they call it when you get braces at that dentist, whatever he is. But it started in the 3rd grade. I got braces, and then I got rid of them after a while as I waited for some teeth to come in. And then I got braces again, and the orthodontist, thank you very much, Dr. Forney. There was a lot of kids from our school that went to him, but I remember him telling me when I first got braces how important it is to brush your teeth, because he showed me photographs of kids and adults both that did not brush their teeth, didn't take care of things whenever they had braces, and those little square brackets on their teeth got cavities around. They got cavities around those square brackets. That's a weird look. And so I remember thinking, I don't want that to happen. And so I got really good at brushing my teeth whenever I was starting in the 3rd grade, for sure. And so all the way through school, then into college, I was real good about brushing my teeth, because I would brush them before I left the dorm in the morning. If I went back to the dorm at any point during the day, I would brush them again. And any time that I was leaving the dorm to go do something on campus, I would brush my teeth. You never know, whenever a pretty girl would come into contact with you, and not like I would have said anything. They wouldn't have smelled my stanky breath anyhow, because I was one of those guys that I was like, hi. I was super nervous around girls anyway, but I always made sure I had fresh breath. And so, and that continued well into my adulthood. But my 2nd year of college, this is where I'm going with this. My 2nd year of college, just as the semester was about to begin, I had to have my wisdom teeth out. And there, I went to my dentist at that time, so that would have been fall, that would have been like August of 92. Yeah, August of 92. And so I went to my dentist. He did all the stuff, shots, everything. And he started to take this tooth out, this wisdom tooth right here. And as he started to grind on the teeth, so this one and this one on bottom, they both were growing forward. The roots were wrapped, all the stuff. It was the worst. And so he had to go in and cut and grind and crunch on those teeth. And this one did not go numb with the first shots. So I got 2 shots per tooth, and he started here, not numb. 2 more shots. Then he took this one out. This one, still not numb. 2 more shots. That's 6. Took this one out, no problem. Back over here, still not numb. 2 more shots, that's 8. Took this one out, back to this one, 2 more shots, 10 total shots for this tooth. And it never went completely numb. But he said, I cannot give you any more Novocaine or whatever it was. He said, and I can't stop because I've begun. So grit it out. And if it gets too much, we'll take a break and then we'll get back after it. So in the process of having this tooth out, there was a ton of trauma. My jaw got overflexed. I had a catch in my jaw for, I don't know, 20 years after that, 15 to 20 years. And so there was an extreme amount of trauma just from getting my wisdom teeth out. Okay, well, about 11 years later, I did go to the dentist, but I had not been to the dentist for 11 years, and I went to the dentist because my anxiety was super high, and I had a couple of fillings. Well, that dentist was really good. That was 22 years ago. I went to the dentist 22 years ago before last Thursday. I know. Go to the dentist. Well, within the last year, maybe a year ago or so, I was eating like M&Ms or something, or one of those candies, and something crunched on this side, and I put my tongue over there, and it felt, well, maybe I had a filling that broke or came out. Well, it didn't hurt, so I didn't do anything about it. I didn't even say anything to Kelly about it. It's like, well, there's a bigger gap between my teeth back there, so I had to keep it clean. But yeah, don't do that. If your tooth crunches, if you feel something that's not there anymore, go to the dentist and let them know, see what they can do, see what's wrong with it. I did not do that. A few weeks ago, I started having pain. So like I said, this is after a year or so of having that crunch in my tooth. Well, some of y'all already know where it's going. You know what happened. I didn't know. So I started having some pain. A little bit. Started using some Ambisol. That helped quite a bit. And then one day, boy, my mouth lit up. It hurt so bad. I almost couldn't handle it. And so Kelly called, and she made an appointment for me with a dentist and told them that it was, emergency if possible. And that dentist office, they said the earliest we could get you in is 2 weeks. And so I said, make the appointment. 2 weeks, I will suffer through if I have to. I made it a week. And then all bets were off. Last Wednesday was so bad. I almost didn't make it through the day. My pain was 10 plus out of 10. And so I called Kelly, or I texted her, and I said, if you can find some place for me to go, I need to go tomorrow. And so last Thursday, she had made me an appointment, and we went to Enid, Oklahoma, to Aspen Dental. I don't know if you have Aspen Dental where you are, but I've never been. But they were like, yeah, we can get you in, no problem. So we went in, they took x-rays, and they said, you are missing part of your tooth. And you have, it was one of those things where it was bad. And they said, we can do one of two things. So we can remove your tooth, or we can do a root canal. I'm like, well, I don't really want to remove it, and I don't really want a root canal. But whatever. I said, I would like to keep the tooth. And they said, okay. And they said, well, when would you like to have the root canal? And I said, well, I'm already off work. Can you do it today? And they're like, yeah, sure, we got time. And so they're like, all right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this root canal today. And so we got ready for it and everything, and they gave me shots. And would you believe that a tooth on the same side, lower left, would not go numb, just like when I has my wisdom teeth out? It would not go numb. He gave me shot after shot. He started drilling, and there's one nerve in there that just lit up every time. And it was to the point where he's like, look, I do not want to cause you trauma, and I cannot do more than what I'm doing right now. He said, you may have an infection. So he said, go home. We will make an appointment for next Monday, and you go pick up antibiotic and a steroid, and was what he prescribed. And so that's what I did last Thursday. We came and picked that up, and I took that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday morning. And yesterday, Monday morning, we went back to Aspen Dental. Got back in the chair, and he gave me shots. A couple shots after the initial one, and my full half of the face was dead to the world. Could not feel a thing. So that worked. And he went in and he did the root canal. He did the drilling with the high-speed drill, with the reciprocating drill, which that was pretty fancy, pretty awesome, because you're sitting there and it's not the zzz, it was kind of a kind of sound in my head, and it was almost non-existent, but it was just enough where he went down in those holes and that augured it out and got all that waste out of there at the same time. It was just a fancy little drill. I didn't know anything like that existed. So anyway, he did the whole procedure. It was like 3 hours in that dentist chair yesterday. My face is sore today. My jaw is sore. My gums are sore. I have a temporary crown at the moment, and I'm supposed to go back in about a week and a half to get the permanent crown. So y'all, that has been my life the last few weeks, dealing with my tooth, and I'm over it. I was almost ready to say, just take it out, but I'm glad we kept it, because, you know, I don't want that space back there. Plus, recovery from having a tooth extracted is a lot different than recovery from having a tooth drilled on. Although I don't like the drill part, but I got to wear some fancy sunglasses while I was laying in that chair, because they got that bright light right in my face, and they said, here, put these on. I said, okay. And they were dark. I liked them. But Kelly was good enough that both last week and yesterday, she came and she sat in the same little room with me, sat at the foot of the chair where I was, and just, you know. But y'all, that, like I said, that has been my last few weeks. And like I said, the moral of the story: brush your teeth, go to the dentist, get regular checkups, and if you've got a problem and you think something may have happened, go get it taken care of. My anxiety probably is still going to be up a little bit, but not like it used to be. This Dr. Khan, he was a good guy. He was very understanding, and the young lady Barbara, who was the assistant, very, very personable. They were just nice people. They made the experience less stressful than I thought it would be. And I had a lot of people praying, because I'm like, look, I struggle with that anxiety.